Greetings and welcome to Creative Briefing, the ad hoc live streamed show that explores and discusses all aspects of creativity and what it means to be creative. And as is usual, it is Friday, so it means we're looking at something music related. And I hadn't intended to return to this topic quite so soon, but as luck would have it, IK Multimedia just announced that they are giving away for free, for nothing more than the price of your email address and a subscription to their email newsletter. They're giving away the metal package to Amplitube, and that means you've got some of the greatest metal amps and cabinet combinations, some of the greatest metal distortion and effects pedals, and that's about it. Amps and pedals that are gonna make your shredding sound a lot shreddier, make your djenting sound a lot djentier, and basically get you all out rocking just in time for the weekend. And now this promotion is going on until July 15th, so you've got a couple of weeks to subscribe to their newsletter and then create an account on their site and download Amplitube free, as I've recommended several times on this show. Amplitube is free. IK have a great freemium model. A lot of their, a Sample Tank, Syntronic, Amplitube, a lot of their products are freemium models. I think all of their software is a freemium, so you can download the free one, which has a small subset of the sort of full library of sounds or effects or whatever, and you can pay to upgrade various packages. Now the metal package, you get a few more amps, a lot more pedals, so for the cost of your email address, I think it's a great upgrade. So go to ikmultimedia.com and just search for the promotion. I think I put a link to the news item on the website in the thread to this video. So find it there and then go download it and have some rocking good fun. So today I have with me, appropriately, my BC Rich Trace Warlock Beast, and it is a piece of 80s rock history, and I'll see if my meager guitar skills can do this awesome guitar justice. I doubt they will. I'm not much of a metal shredder, but it's always fun to have a go, and I'll try and demonstrate the different amps and pedals that come with this free metal package, and of course using a guitar like this for the metal package. I mean, it's absolute must. So my son is a complete shredder, complete djenter. He likes all that loud, down-tuned, angry metal. So this has really heavy gauge strings on, and it's down-tuned to drop B, which normally isn't my thing. I'm normally in standard tuning on a Fender Stratocaster, so this is a bit of a departure for me. But it's always fun to dip your foot into another world. So enough talking. Let's get on and take a look at Amplitube. First of all, let's take a look at what we get with I'm going to turn off all of the effects for right now. I've just got the clean sound. So you get in the Amplitube metal package, you get the metal clean amp, and you get three metal leads and a vintage metal. So let's take a look at what those are and what they what they might sound like. So don't think. Right, so that's let's turn all the stomps off for right now and just take a look at the amps. So what I'm going to do again, and I hope to remember to turn it back on again, I'm going to turn the mic off so you don't get all that jangly string noise on the mic, and you just hear the clean sound, the Amplitube sound. So on its own, it's not much, but as we get into the effects, this works very nicely with the like the chorus and the flanger pedals and with the once you punch it with some EQ, it actually this particular amp model sounds really good. Let's move on real quick to now this British Tube lead that just comes with the standard free Amplitube package. Now we get a more high gain lead sound. Again, by itself, it's not a bad amount of energy and a bad sound. Again, when added with the stomp boxes that come with this package, it really brings out some of the meat. This is a very high gain. I'm not sure if this is like a high watt. I think this is a Mesa Boogie. I'm not sure what each of these individual amps are modelled after. They're obviously modelled after a particular amp in the real world, a hardware model, but I'm not too familiar with high gain amps, so I don't recognise the faceplate, but this one sounds very fizzy, very, very super high gain. So if we really push that gain, rather than a presence, it has a bottom. This really brings out some lovely thick sounding. Must remember to turn off the mic when I do that. I wish the software automatically ducked the mic when the mic isn't working. Alright, so next amp. Again, super high gain. I think, just guessing, this is a Mesa Boogie. So by itself, just monster sound, I think. I think there's a great amount of chunk and beef in this amp, and that's just with the stock settings. I haven't messed with anything, just loading up the amp. So and then there's a vintage, looks like a vintage Marshall metal lead, probably some kind of JCM 800 100-watt head from, like, you know, the 80s metal, you know, days. One thing about the BC is that it does love to hold its tune knobs. And I have blocked knocked off the trem, so the trem doesn't work, and I've just loosened the nut so I don't use the whole Floyd Rose system. It is just too much of a pain, and even without that, it still goes out of tune all the time. Luckily, Amplitube has a tuner built right in. Alright, let's get back to the amp. So let's go back up to the clean amp, because that is quite nice. So if we go to the stomps, you get, I think, like 10, 11, 12 stomps. I've already loaded them up, and we're just going to go through them one at a time and just discuss what they're modeled on, and let's see what they're modeled on, and have a quick listen to the sound. I won't mess with too much of the settings. I just want to go through them. That will take forever to go through the settings on every single one. So let's just look at this Big Pig, which is obviously a model of the Electro Harmonix Big Muff. So very big muffy, lots of fun. The orange distortion modeled on the Boss DS1, the famous and mega successful, the probably original distortion fuzzbox distortion pedal. Next to the DS1 we have the great Boss Feedbacker, which was similar circuitry as far as I remember to the DS1, the distortion pedal, and that had the ability, if you held the pedal down, you would be able to invoke feedback. You can control it, and you have a knob here for the feedback overtone. On this, if you click the feedback button, you can see the indicator light blinks, and now we can just invoke feedback at any time. Entirely useful, but it might be fun to play with for a few minutes. Then of course we have the venerable metal, that was it, that HM2, the heavy metal pedal, or the metal pedal, I forget what the actual Boss acronym for it was, but you either love it or you hate it. It's either completely usable or absolute garbage, depending on which side of the fence. I think this pedal has polarized rock guitarists for ever since it came out, so ugly blocked metal sounds that this pedal was. That's pretty hideous. Now apparently they made a metal distortion too, which I'm not familiar with in the real world, but replaced the EQ knobs with just like two low frequency and high frequency color knobs. So I guess if we just dime everything, boing, boing, boing. settings, you can probably find some use out of it. Boss OD1, the sister pedal to the DS1, the overdrive, so it's a little more contained than the distortion. So definitely usable in the keep that in the keeper pile. The metal distortion pedals, yeah, I'm not a big fan of those, but the OD and the distortion, the yellow and the orange, and definitely the big muff, those are great to have for, you know, for the price of your email. These four, I'm not sure you get much use out of them unless you're a big fan of these already and you just want to have some fun making some metal sounds. Alright, so if we go to Stomp B, make sure these are all turned off. Okay, if we go to Stomp B, we also have a Pro Drive, which is like the Proco Rat, which is a great sounding pedal in real life, and I think they've done a really good job of modeling it here. Seems quite responsive and responds to the hammering a little better than some of the other ones do. It's quite dynamic, I think. You've got the filter knob. Show you the sound. Get it a bit more. It has like lots of sustain and along with the big muff. Yes, it can get quite noisy, so but lots of fun. We have both of those on at the same time. So let's get into some of the other non-distortion effects. We've got a flanger, which is like the Boss BF2. It looks very similar to identical to my Boss BF2. So. So alongside the Boss flanger, we have a metal flanger. I'm not sure what this is modelled on, but it seems to be a bit brighter and a bit chimier than the Boss model flanger. And so when we pair that with a drive pedal, I'll just keep it on the Pro drive here. So let's have a quick look with the Boss flanger. those flanges pair quite nice with the drive, and we also have a phaser, phase 9, which is orange. Is it the MXR phase 90? It's probably a fair guess, isn't it? It looks more copper than orange, but still phase 9. All right. On top of that, we have an EQ. So if you really want to scoop those mids, whoops, it's a little fiddly, I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to mess around with it too much, but do like the sound of that rat, the Pro drive. That is a lot of fun. So as well as the those pedals, we have a wah-wah, which again, I've mentioned this in the first couple of reviews or demonstrations of Amplitube I did, and that is that it's best paired with some kind of MIDI or USB, MIDI over USB, some kind of control board, some kind of foot pedal board, like the Blue board, or there's a number of them. They get fairly pricey for the features they have, but if you can pair this with some kind of tactile, footboard, it becomes a lot more useful. the Behringer FCB 1010 is one that I've used, and that definitely has a lot of pedals for turning the different stomps on and off, and it has two like whammy pedals that you can either use for volume, or basically you can send CC messages over MIDI, which will enable you to control various parameters, in this case like the wah wah, or I'll show you in a second the whammy pedal. But, for this I'll just demonstrate by using the mouse. So the cursor. So yeah, it's quite a responsive wah, and it's definitely better than the stock wah that comes with Amplitube, the free Amplitube, I believe. I think that's a pretty nice sounding wah. So let's turn that off. As well as that, there is a Whamminator, which is a model of the Whammy, Digitex Whammy pedal, which I own the very first generation of the Whammy, and it is a lot of fun. It's a great pedal, and so this will enable you to, it does bends and harmonies. So if you see down here, you can see the percent value that we're modifying, and also if you look, when you select the bend, it tells you which, like in this value box down here, it tells you which type of bend we're doing. So right now we're doing +1 octave. So basically that means when it's open, it's at its normal octave, the note. When I depress the pedal all the way, it's a full octave. It actually sounds quite a smooth bend. There's not too much digital aliasing. That seems quite smooth. So you've got 1 octave, 2 octaves. For doing chipmunk music. Yes, it's not entirely useful. So you've got up a second, down a second, minus an octave. Getting that kind of U2 kind of sound. You can get dive bombs with your drop 2 octaves. No need to put your guitar out of tune by using your whammy bar, doing dive bombs. So it's pretty cool. As well as that, we have the harmony mode. We switched to harmony, and now if you look down here, you can see it has shallow and deep, and that is like the detuning, so you get like a chorusing sound. Quite a nice chorusing. The deep one adds like a third tone. That's quite nice, and you've got like you know, from a second to a third, so it's adding an extra note into the note you're playing. It's adding a second interval and then a third interval, and it will blend between them. And then you've got seconds and thirds, minor seconds and minor thirds and a third, a third and a fourth, fourth and a fifth. fifths and sixths, fifths and sevenths. Goes down a bit, and then we've got adds an octave below. Adds an octave below or an octave above. So whammy pedal is great fun. Obviously that really needs to be paired with some kind of foot pedal. So that is the free package of metal effects and amps. Let's just take a look. I have been on the metal clean setting. Let's go on to this fantastic beefy setting. You can already hear the gain noise from this. So and let's just go through one at a time and add every single stomp on, just for grinny grins. That EQ really is fiddly. Okay, so I'm going to mute the audio over the mic and have a little play out and just add all of these pedals on one at a time until we have everything on, and to see what kind of disgusting noise we can make. All right, that was utterly ridiculous. That was just a cacophony. If you stuck through this video past that cacophonous end, then congratulations, you deserve some kind of prize. That was horrible. Now, on their own, obviously, those pedals, most of them are usable and a lot of fun to play with, and that's the point. It's a lot of fun. Obviously, things like the whammy and the wah pedal are less useful because you really need hardware to make them work. Unless you're bringing it into a digital audio workstation and you can kind of draw a curve to modulate those parameters. But just for the cost of your email, for a free download, it's a lot of fun, and it extends the arsenal within the standard free version of Amplitube. And I think the distortions definitely are a lot nicer than the ones, the original, the diode overdrive that you get standard. So lots of fun, free music Friday. Start your weekend off right. Go to ikmultimedia.com and sign up for an account, subscribe to their email address, and download yourself a bunch of free distortion pedals, and have some fun with some high gain amps. All right, thanks for watching. If you stuck through it this far, if you have any questions, leave them in a thread to the video, or any of these little places here. You can leave me a message. I've been Adam from Influxx Media Production. This has been Creative Briefing. Have a great weekend. If you're in the US, happy July 4th, and have a safe and enjoyable weekend and holiday. And I'll see you next week for another Creative Briefing. Thanks. Bye-bye.